Did you know that you can work on your legs' strength, flexibility, and muscle mass at the same time using exercise that people commonly use in the gym? You may wonder at this point, why do people that go to the gym have stiff muscles on the lower body? And the problem is that they don't realize that they can work on their flexibility using the same exercise they're using, but they're missing some key points that I'll be explaining to you in this video. Here, I want to show you 3 of the best exercises you can use that people commonly do at the gym to work on your lower body flexibility, strength, and muscle mass. The first exercise I want to show you is the Bulgarian Squad. This is commonly used to work on the lower body strength, but here we do want to adjust the technique of the exercise to work on the flexibility as well. Start with your front leg straight, bend your front knee, reach the bottom, trying to drive your hips toward your front heel. You don't want to stop halfway through the movement. You want to explore the best range of motion you can cover. And here is where most people miss the point of this exercise here. If you want to build flexibility and strength at the same time, you got to explore your best range of motion. And here you want to do that by bending your front knee as much as possible, driving your hips as close as possible to your front heel. If you touch the floor with your back knee, try to take a step further and bring your back knee a little higher, and this way you're gonna push your hips further into the position. Otherwise, you can use some supports under your front foot in order to make the range wider. You want to inhale as you start the eccentric movements. Hold your breath as you are at the bottom of the rep for a couple of seconds. Exhale as you come back up. A common mistake people make here, which is not exactly a mistake, but something that they do because they don't know how to work on their flexibility as well, is touching the floor with the back knee before they get into the complete range of motion with the front leg. So you do want to think about the complete range of motion of your front leg before you touch the floor with your back knee. As you drive your hips down and you explore the max range of motion you got, remember to stop there for a couple of seconds and come back up. That stop at the bottom of each rep is the critical point of this exercise, because in that particular point, you're gonna make flexibility gains. The second exercise I want to show you is the Bulgarian Deadlift. Now, the Bulgarian Squats is commonly known, but the Bulgarian Deadlift is something that you can't quite see at the gym, and is a wonderful exercise to work on your posterior chain flexibility. So I'm talking about your glutes, I'm talking about your hamstrings, I'm talking about your calves. These muscles are commonly really tight, also because we sit down a lot, and by sitting down a lot, these muscles get tight. And so this exercise here is wonderful to work on the strength, which is something fantastic for your posture and overall lower body health, and also on your flexibility. You want to start with your front foot on the floor and your front leg almost straight, not completely straight. Think about a micro bend on your front knee, but almost completely straight. And your back foot, again, as in a Bulgarian squat, on something behind you, which is approximately at your hips height. Hold the weight on the opposite hand of your front leg, and from this position, you want to start with an upright torso position with a proud chest. From there, drive your chest down and your head forward. This is really important. The head forward will help you straighten your back and achieve a greater stretch on your posterior chain muscles. Drive your body down as much as you can. Touch the floor with the weight. Feel the stretch, remain there for a couple of seconds, come back up. The range of motion is king here. So you do want to get your body as close as possible to your front leg. You want to stop wherever you feel a deep amount of stretch on your posterior chain. So on your glutes, on your hamstrings, and on your calves. You want to inhale when you start. Get your body closer and closer to your front leg. Hold your breath for a couple of seconds at the bottom of each rep, exhale on the way up. The most common mistake people make here is curving their back. You don't want to curve your back, you want to keep a straight lower and middle back. And in order to do that, remember to anterior tilt, so to open your hips and to arch your lower back. Remember to stop for a couple of seconds at the bottom of each rep to really work on that range of motion, on strengthening the muscles and working on the flexibility of those muscles at the same time. Third and last exercise I want to show you is the seated good morning, which is not that well known, but it's a wonderful exercise if you want to work on your lower body flexibility and strength at the same time. You want to spread your knees wide apart as much as possible, and you want to sit down with an anterior tilt, which means that you want to move your lower back into extension. You do want to anterior tilt and straighten the lower and middle back area. With a proud chest, you do want to use a weight behind your head and drive your torso toward your legs. As you do that, remember to push your head in front of you as if you wanted to reach something in front of you, and keep both of your hips well pressed against the bench or the support you're using. As you start, you may want to use something under your chest as a target. Touch that thing with your chest. Make sure that you are staying for at least a couple of seconds at the bottom of each rep, trying to feel the stretch as much as possible and come back up. As you get better and better, you want to get rid of the yoga blocks or something and touch the chest with the bench instead. In this way, you're gonna cover the entire range of motion. Make sure, of course, at each stage to control the movement as much as possible and to pause for a couple of seconds at the bottom of each rep to focus on that sensation of stretch and on building to build, of course, strength and flexibility at the same time. The most common mistake people make here is driving the knees in. In order to perform this exercise correctly though, you do want to drive your knees out. This will stretch your adductors and hamstrings in a deeper way. You can wrap a band around your knees to pull them apart strongly. You want to inhale as you start the movement, hold your breath for a couple of seconds at the bottom of each rep, exhale as you come back up. For all these exercises that we've been seeing so far, a couple of rules are critical. First, you do want to use a weight that you can control and that allows you to feel the stretch, not just the intensity of the exercise in itself. What I mean is that in all three exercises, the most important part is the bottom part. So when you actually get into the max range of motion you can cover, that part is of critical importance. And if you use a weight which is too heavy, you're not going to be able to access to that range of motion because the weight is too heavy. And when the weight is heavy, you're gonna work with less range of motion because your muscles aren't strong enough to get your body into that position. The second rule, which is not actually a rule, but more something like a suggestion, is to work between 6 and 12 reps. This allows you to work on your strength, hypertrophy, and flexibility at the same time, because the weight you're gonna use between 6 and 12 repetitions is a weight that allows you to work on all these aspects at the same time. It's not too heavy, like 3 reps, so you would use something like a lot of weight, and as I said, if you use a lot of weight, you're not gonna access to your best range of motion. Vice versa, if you use a weight that is too light and maybe you perform 20 reps, for example, that is not really good for your strength and hypertrophy gains. So something like your sweet spot is between 6 and 12 reps. That said, these are 3 of the best exercises you can use to work on your lower body strength, flexibility, and hypertrophy. A critical thing that you do want to understand is that it all stays in how you perform these exercises. You do want to focus on the range. If you don't think about the range during these exercises to cover your best range of motion, you're not gonna gain any range of motion, all right? So first comes the range, then comes the weight, and then comes the reps, all right? So you do want to prioritize the range of motion and adapt strategies that allows you to cover the best range of motion you can. Okay, this is the first and most important rule, and we've been saying throughout this video how to do that. Hope that you appreciated the content. Remember to hit a thumb up button if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions or doubts regarding these exercises here and another topic you may want to cover in another video. Last but not least, remember that if you want to work on your lower body, flexibility, strength, hypertrophy, or something else, you can get a personalized program with me. You just have to click on the link in the description down below, book a free call with me. We're going to talk about your goals and everything else, and we're going to design a personalized program just for you. Okay, link in the description down below to do that. Have a nice workout, and see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, if you want to get stronger, more muscular, and at the same time work on your flexibility, you can do that with a specific training system. You can download my Flexibility Guy app on your phone, and you can follow the workouts you can find in there to work on your upper and lower body strength and flexibility at the same time. Check out the link in the description right now.